11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Canelo won it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
With his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, wearing black with white, also weighing in at 167.6 pounds. In his professional career, 54 victories, including 36 big wins by knockout, only one defeat with 2 draws, and he's undefeated for 6 years, and considered by many to be, pound for pound, the best in the world. He's the former 2-time light middleweight world champion, former middleweight world champion, former light heavyweight world champion, the reigning, defending super middleweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros de Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, representando al gran campeón, Saúl Canelo.
What's going on, everybody? D-Style Boxing here. Just wanted to do a quick live before I get my day started. Not going to be able to go live during the fight or anything like that. So I'm going to be watching the fight somewhere where I'm not going to be live. So just wanted to come on in for a little bit, you know what I mean? And just let everybody know that I believe it's going to be a, good boxing fight. Is it going to be fight of the year? Probably not. It's going to be traumatic, like maybe if it's close and you don't know who's winning, or you don't know how the judges have it, maybe that type of drama. But as far as the fight itself, I don't think it's going to be like a very dramatic fight. I think it's just going to be a solid boxing fight. And I think it'll be entertaining, but I do think, like I've said several times, and you haven't heard me say it already, I'll just repeat it. I think the fight's going to start slow. I think Bivol will be up on the cards after 5 rounds. I think most people would have him on their scorecard up after 5, like 3 rounds to 2, maybe even 4 rounds to 1. Bivol. I do think like round 6, 7, 8, I think Canelo will win competitive rounds in those rounds, take over the fight. And then I do think 9 and 10, one of those 2 rounds, Canelo will stop Bivol. Okay, or Bivol, well, whatever you want to call him. That's how I see the fight going. Because I think Bivol's, is being, in my opinion. And by the way, shout out to El Chido Boxing. By the way, let me know if you're there. Okay, let me know you're there, guy. Let me make sure you can hear me. All that good stuff. Or can you hear the words coming out of my mouth out there? Okay. I don't want to be talking to the abyss. I want to be talking to you guys. Let me know you're there. I see some of you here, but I don't see any comments. Let me know you're there. But hey, shout out to A-Rod. NYY Max, how's it going, brother? Give me those boxing glove emojis. Give me something to make. But can you hear me though? Is what I want to know. Can you hear the words coming out of my mouth? That's what I want to know. I see fire emoji, Mexican flag, but can you hear me? Can you hear the word? Do you know what I'm saying? Can you hear me talking? I want to make sure. Okay, cool. All right. They said, yep. All right. Just real quick look. I think early going, Canelo's going to be missing wide. Okay. And the reason for that is he's trying to, he's going to try to land where Bivol's head's going to be, not where Bivol's head is at, right? And in order to do that, he's going to have to time him. He's going to have to, and the problem, Bivol's not like this like obvious pattern fighter that you could just kind of figure out right away. So it's going to be interesting, right? I think Canelo's I think he's going to be missing wide, and then he's going to have to kind of like back up from that, start working the body, slow him down, wait for Bivol to slow down a little bit as the course of action continues. Wait for, work the body of Bivol. And once he slows him down, he'll be able to time him better and then start landing those big shots upstairs. And I think at some point, he's going to wear him down to the body and he's going to hit him with something big late in the fight. And I think he's going to take him out because Canelo's one of the best finishers in the game. He'll have enough in the tank to feel confident to really go on that attack late, around 9th or 10th round, to stop him. Okay. If he doesn't stop him, then I think Canelo just kind of boxes him 11 and 12 to kind of solidify that win. But that's what I'm predicting. All right. Christian NWO. I hope Canelo breaks the body, break the soul. Man, he's just going at this dude. Shout out to Cordova, says, see, absolutely. Shout out to Haplotype. All right. If anybody wants to jump on, go ahead and jump on. All right. I'll put the link in the chat. All right. Got to know who you are, of course. I'm just going to let you on. Let you know right now. Okay. Mini Males, how's it going? Saludos. Hey, that's right. Para toda la raza chida del Terre. Shout out to you, brother. I think Canelo by stoppage round 10. I have the same exact round. And I think maybe people are asking themselves, but why these double? Why do you think Bivol will be up after 5? Like, if you think Canelo's better and he's going to beat him, why would he be up after 5? And a lot of it has to do with strategy. A lot of it has to do with the way Bivol boxes, right? Bivol, as we all know, tremendous amateur career, okay? And he still has like that ability to win those early rounds. Like he has that in and out movement. He can also, kind of circle the ring on you. He gauges distance very well, and when he's fresh from round 1 and he has all his faculties, not exhausted, I mean, he's very difficult to box at that point. A fighter like Bivol, you have to wear him down, especially if he's the bigger guy, which he is. Especially if he fights the way he fights, So what you want like that, like Canelo's going to have to strategize that, right? So one option, which I do not agree with, by the way. So shout out to Joe Habib. He said on, I believe, the roundtable, like he thinks that Canelo may go on that attack early. Like really push him early, right? I just don't see that coming because to me, Canelo is a slow starter. That's how I see it. Shout out to Haplotype. I think what Canelo does is let his opponents reveal their game plan in the first few rounds. That's another thing. I mean, look, both guys, by the way, are very cerebral, but Canelo understands this is a 12-round fight, right? He understands that there is value in maybe giving up some of those earlier rounds to figure the opponent out. Now, that's risky, especially if the fight goes a distance because you're giving away some rounds, right? But there's that. But I also think, to give Bivol credit, I do think Bivol is going to legitimately win some of these rounds. I think he's going to, dare I say, give Canelo some, problems. Tony Barlett, how's it going, brother? NYMX says, I see this going controversial victory for Canelo. I'm not convinced by Canelo's power at 175 pounds yet. Okay, well, I mean, that's a fair assessment, but what I will say is this may very well tell us a lot about that, right? Like it takes a lot to break down a bigger man, that's for sure, right? That's how I feel. Shout out to Sean Hicks on here. How's it going, brother? Round one, just hit the like button. Absolutely. You guys got to hit the like button. You know what I mean? It is fight night. It is fight day. You know what I mean? So shout out to Sean Hicks from Long Live Boxing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Okay. Christian W says, I haven't watched Bivol fight. Can I send him back to the amateurs? What I recommend, Christian NWO, go watch his fight with Joe Smith. All right. Now, since I said the name Joe Smith, you all know what's coming. Okay. I'm just saying.
I'm a hard-working man.
Right, so you guys gotta, if there's one fight, you could go watch. It's that one. Go watch that fight, the Chilemba fight. I would suggest watching that fight as well. I think Bivol is a really good fighter. He is the arguably, at the least, second best light heavyweight on the planet. That's who Canelo's going to be fighting tonight. Okay, he's moving up to fight arguably the second best. Some feel he's the best. I would say second light heavyweight on the planet. That's who he's fighting tonight for his belt. So I'm looking forward to that. Me personally. Canelo's the only active fighter that knows how to break the opponent down. Well, there's other guys that know how to break opponents down for sure, but Canelo, I will say, is probably the best at it right now for sure. Me personally. I think he makes investments early that pay off later in the fight for him. And a lot of fighters don't have that patience to do that, right? Sometimes you want to sneak in those body shots and you don't get the payoff immediately, but later on, like a couple rounds later, that opponent's breathing a little harder. They're a little slower and they're more susceptible to your counters. They're more susceptible to your attacks. And that's what he needs to do. Keep the comments coming, guys. I'll be reading them as I go here. They didn't like Canelo at 175 with Kovalev. He looked slow and sluggish. But for the Bivol fight, Canelo seems to look different. I think it's going to be a much tougher fight than what most people think. I agree with you. I think it is going to be a tough fight. I do. I think legitimately a lot of people are going to be really, really nervous after 5 rounds because I think most people are going to have Bivol up on the cards. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, if he's up on the cards after 5 and in the middle rounds, Canelo hasn't taken over yet, like I'm predicting, then it is panic mode time because that means Bivol is kind of cruising through, and if he wins the middle rounds as well, I mean, Canelo's going to need a knockout late in that fight, and if he hasn't gotten to a point where he's breaking him down, that's going to be problematic. But I do believe Canelo will take over in those middle rounds, though. All right. Tony Barlett says, I got Canelo split decision in the prediction league. Okay. Viva Canelo, viva Mexico. Absolutely. All right. So there you go. That's interesting. Split decision. I've been telling people, man, like that are saying, "Oh, I'm gonna bet on Bivol to win by decision." I think a draw is more likely than Bivol getting the decision, and the odds on the draw are really, really good. And I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm saying majority decision. Okay, I got you. So there'll be 1 draw and then 2 for Canelo. All right. Or okay. Sean Hicks says Bivol versus Pascal is a good rewatch too. Absolutely. That's another good fight to watch. It's a quick, explosive guy like Pascal, right? You can really see Bivol's footwork and changes in levels in his shots. Bivol averages 9.7 jabs per round. It's going to be a hell of a fight. That's the thing. The jab is the key. And I think Canelo is going to have to get that jab out of the holster for this one. I really do. He's going to have to utilize his jab to match Bivol's jab, especially early to mid. He's going to have to. He's going to have to change levels with his jab. And I'm telling you right now, that is a punch people are just overlooking with Bivol. Okay, dude's like a fencer with that jab. Just comes in like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just letting you guys know right now, and it's going to score points. A lot of people are going to have Bivol winning the early rounds, man. And I think because Canelo's going to try hit him where he's going to be now, where he's at, he's going to be missing wide, and you're going to see it. Mark my words. Mark my words. You're going to see video content creators, people on Twitter, people on Instagram. They're going to be saying, "Oh my God, Canelo's missing wide. He's making a miss, right? And even though, like every round, Canelo's punches are going to get closer and closer, it's going to start timing them better, right? And then by the middle round, I do believe he'll start actually landing them. Okay, it's going to take him that long to figure it out, and then and while breaking down Bivol's to the body, I think ultimately that's going to be the big difference. Bivol doesn't commit a lot to the body. He'll sink in a nice little body shot once in a while. Don't get me wrong now. You know what I mean? He reminds you that he could throw it there, but it's not a committed attack. And I think that's going to be the difference. And I think Canelo's going to do a good job of blocking those body shots when Bivol does throw them, while Canelo's going to be landing body shots. People overlook body shots as it is, right? I don't think the body shots early are going to be enough to win the rounds for Canelo. But they're going to be there, and slowly but surely, he's going to start to chop down that tree, right? He'll take over in the middle rounds, and I do believe he's going to have to break him down to the body early. Like, no doubt, he needs to go to the body. Attack that long torso, okay? And I think as the rounds progress, he's going to be landing more and more to the body, Canelo will be. And then the body shots, the head shots will start in the mid-rounds, and you're going to see a shift in the fight. Okay, that's what I think is going to happen. I got it a draw, says Sean X. Yo, the draw money is good. If Bivol outboxes Canelo, a draw is more likely than them giving it to Bivol. I'm just saying. I think Bivol by decision is like a plus 700, which is really good, but it's like a plus 1800 for a draw, ladies and gentlemen. I would straddle it. Like if you really believe he's going to outbox Canelo, like you don't think he's going to knock Bivol out, right? You don't think? And I'm giving this away. I did this for the members only. I know the members are like, what? You can't say this here. You did it for the members only. Well, you got it for 24 hours. But let me just say this. If you believe that Bivol's going to win, don't bet this if you don't think Bivol's going to win, by the way. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now. Right? If your predictions were Canelo's going to get the decision, which means you think Bivol can win, right? Cool. But if you have it Canelo by robbery or Bivol's going to win, right? You got to put some change, whatever it is, to the draw. Figure out the math yourself. But hey, put if you got $20 to spare, whatever your main bet is, I'll put a little bit extra on the draw because the odds are really good. And to me, it's actually more likely than Bivol getting the decision. But these style, I'm telling you right now, it's more likely that they score a draw than give it to Bivol. Right? That's all I'm saying. So I would put a little bit of change. If you think it's going to be controversial in any way, I will put a little bit on the draw. The odds are that good. Okay? So if you think Canelo's going to get the decision, you want to bet that, that's a minus. So it is what it is, but I will put some change on the draw. I'm just saying. Canelo's going to start faster for this fight because Bivol's high stamina and movement. That's another thing. Bivol has really good stamina, which is why Canelo needs to do what? Work the body. Hit him on those ribs. Hit him on those kidneys. Okay? Yes, I said kidneys because I think Bivol's going to turn. And if Canelo's already throwing the punch, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Okay, hit him in the liver over and over again. Hit him on those elbows hard when he's blocking the shots. Hit him over the elbows, so it could partially land on the body. Just make him feel heavy on the waist and on the ribs. Make him breathe harder, right? Another thing Canelo needs to do is shoot that jab down the pipe. He's going to have to get it out of the holster. I mean, he hasn't really been using it that much in recent fights because he needs to, pop Bivol in the mouth, pop Bivol in the nose. If you can make him bleed in the nose, then he's breathing from the mouth, right? Pop him, with a jab in the forehead, bounce that head back to put strain on the back of the neck. That helps fatigue fighters, right? He's going to have to do things that are going to tire Bivol out. Being fast paced, he might do that. I just don't think he's going to come out of the gate. He might start round 3 to really push the action because he's just not I'll be very surprised if Canelo comes out guns blazing round 1. I'll be so surprised. I just don't think he's going to do that. If he does, hey, but I don't think he's going to do it. like Bivol will just weather that storm, and then it's my turn in round 2, in my opinion. I was toying with the idea that Bivol could come out, just shock Canelo, round 1, because he's got such great stamina. I think people will be surprised that I think in the middle of round 2 or so, he's going to pick it up, Bivol. It just won't be round 1. There's no way. Speaking of round 1, I believe Canelo will win, maybe by KO, but it will be very difficult. Bivol seems to move a lot more than Kovalev. I want to know from round 1 how he thinks round 1's going to go. I mean, who better to ask than round 1? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. All right. How's round 1 going to go, brother? I want to know. I heard Bivol been training almost all camp on stopping body shots. He's going to have to, right? But here's the problem. When you're blocking body shots, you got to kind of use your elbows, and kind of, duck a little bit. And so and if he does that, what's open? Look at what I'm doing. If I'm doing this and you're doing it against a shorter man throwing body shots at you, what's open? What am I open to right now? Because I got to use my elbows to block this side and this side, right? What am I open to? Down the pipe. Somebody put in the chat. What am I open to if I do that? I don't want to say it. I want you guys to say it. You know what's open. You know what's open if he starts, because that's what Canelo needs to do. He needs to shoot to the body, pop, 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 because one, you tire him out. Also, you force him to, he already doesn't throw a lot of power punches, but you could lower that even more. You could keep him defensive a little bit more, right? It lets Canelo be more offensive, right? And if he's blocking this side, that side, what's he open to? All right? Overhand rights and uppercuts. And you're actually right about both, Appleton. I was looking for uppercut, but he's also open to the overhand right as well, which is what Canelo does do, actually. Now that you mentioned that. Canelo really does feint uppercuts and boom, comes over the top. By the way, both uppercuts are deadly. That's what Canelo's going to bring to the table, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be interesting. I think what Bivol needs to do to avoid the body punches isn't, like, don't get me wrong, it's better to block the body shots if we got to block them. Leaf Hound says the uppy, absolutely. And he actually put that first, so shout out to you. Okay, that's what he's open to. Bivol's going to have to, be at, I'm not saying, look, he's not like an ambush fighter, so he can't be, completely away from Canelo, jump in and out like that, right? He's got to be at mid-range, right? But again, he's really good at gauging distance, and he's got to be just enough to where his jab is landing. But Canelo's jab is Canelo has to make that extra step to throw his jab, right? That little second, right? Boom, and then he could just back up a little bit, okay, after he lands it, so something doesn't come back to him, and create a gap between him and Canelo to avoid those body shots. He needs to use his freaking legs to avoid the attacks from Canelo. He cannot depend on being on the inside. If Bivol's on the inside, like in the phone booth fighting Canelo, he's going to get shredded, bro. All right? He cannot do that. And by the way, shout out to the one and the only Patrick Killian in the building, ladies and gentlemen. An honor to have him on watching the show. He says, I'm going with Canelo late between 10 to 12. I bet 7-1 here in Vegas. Well, there you go. Man! Well, there you go. Those are really good odds, and I hope you get it. You know what I mean? And I do believe he's going to knock him out in the 10th. I do think it's going to be a late round stoppage. So I hope you get it. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. Everybody check out Patrick Killian's artwork, man. It's great. Let's see. Shout out to Max in the building. How's it going? Okay. What's up, these styles? Shout out to ATP, Anaheim, California house. Hey, let me know where you guys are at, by the way. Canelo stoppage is the best bet on this one. The odds are wrong on that one. I think I agree with you. I think the odds are wrong. Mini Mill, D-Style, what's the role of Coach Joel Diaz? Is he a secondary coach or doing mitts and hand wrapping? I'm honestly not sure, actually. That's a really good question, but I mean, I hope he has better instructions than he did the last time. for Butraev. Remember what it's on Butraev? He's finished. Like, just don't start yelling to Bivol that Canelo's finished. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what to make of that. But if anybody knows what he is, let me know. Let me know if he's a second or like the main dude. Like, you know what I mean? I am interested to know if he's like co-trainer or he's the main guy. You know, I'm very interested to know that. Haplotype, Canelo leans left, throws left hook to the body, let it get blocked, and hand comes down when the overhand right on the nose. Absolutely. Good catch. Bivol is going to be pissing blood at the end of the fight. Damn. I'm just saying, man. Shout out to Killian again, by the way. Bivol has the movement and size to give Canelo trouble. Canelo will probably stop him in the 9th. Man, that is. I'm looking for one of those late round stoppages myself. Alon, how's it going? A Chicano Prophet with the sunglasses. Shout out to you, brother. Okay. Saludos to Major Key Boxing. You already know it's LA, baby, he says. You know what I mean? If Canelo fought all 12 rounds, he would gas out. I don't think Canelo will gas out. I think Canelo's found he's found his rhythm now in fights. Like, you know what I mean? I think he don't even take those mid-round rounds off anymore. Whether he will or not in this one, I don't know, but he needs to attack the body. Canelo needs to go to the body to slow down Bivol, period. Right? Because Bivol has a hell of a gas tank. So what you got to do, you got to create leaks on that gas tank. How to do that? Body shots. How to do that? Blooding up the nose. How to do that? Jab forehead, bounce that head back, put strain on the back of that neck, right? That's what he needs to do. Okay? And he's going to have to be consistent. He's going to have to, even and I do believe he'll be losing the early rounds, but just boom, get the 1 or 2 body shots in. That Bivol goes back to that corner. Is like, whew, like, you know what I mean? Like make him breathe harder. That's what you got to do. Okay. When a gas tank is so full that going 100 miles per hour, it could finish 12 rounds. You got to create leaks in the gas tank, right? So that's what you need to do. Bivol doesn't feint enough to keep Canelo guessing. You know, Bivol doesn't have hard feints. So he doesn't like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really do that. Canelo does, right? Canelo's gotten really good at it. So it's going to be interesting if Bivol bites the feints, you know. I think what Bivol's going to do when Canelo feints, and it's what I think what everybody should do, like if you're not sure Canelo's feinting, it's going to feint or actually attack, back up. You know what I mean? Just, and if you notice, look at the ring, right? The square ring. Whenever Bivol's back, like he likes to have his back to the corner, right? Couple feet, right? Like he has that awareness, like his back's to the corner, so he has a lot of space to back up. You know what I mean? And like a fencer, like he likes to go like this, right? But it can also, but he's aware where he's at, so he could circle out of the ring and avoid the ropes, right? So when Canelo feints, I do believe all Bivol's going to do is back up. And he's going to make sure that, look, I'm not going to start shit until I throw my jab, right? But what I will say is that Bivol, in fairness, you didn't say he doesn't feint. You say he doesn't feint enough, but he does have very subtle feints in there, like the little, like he's gonna, like, this is the jab, and like you just don't, boom, like, you know what I mean? Like he does do that. It's like a real subtle, like he has very subtle feints, right? And you're gonna see him and Canelo. It's gonna look like a staring match at times. They're both gonna be, you know, moving around, like, you know what I mean? A little short feints. Canelo has little harder feints, you know what I mean? Bivol likes to kind of, you know, step a little bit sometimes, and you just don't quite know. Like he'll do like the little step, you know, for the jab, but he doesn't throw the jab, and he's kind of gauging what the opponent's doing. So it's the early rounds, you're going to see a lot of feinting from both guys. Just that Bivol's is a little subtle, you know, a little more subtle, I should say. Canelo has the subtle ones, but he also has a hard feints as well that he mixes in, and he's really good at it, right? So I'm looking forward to that. I think what Canelo needs to do is try to get Bivol's, like, where his back is facing the ropes, right? And kind of get him to where it's going to be hard to circle out of the way, and make sure he's closer to the ropes. like Bivol likes to be, where he has a lot of space between, so he could circle out of there. And Canelo needs to find a way, and he will, I believe, to make that ring smaller for Bivol. All right. That's what I think is going to happen. By the way, does anybody know the ring size? I haven't even looked at that, by the way. I'm interested to know what the ring size is for this fight. If Bivol or anyone wants to seriously defeat Canelo, he has to keep the fight in the center of the ring and make Canelo back up. If you don't make Canelo respect your inside game, he'll come at you. I think I agree with you, and I think ultimately that's why I don't think Bivol's going to win. I do think he'll win rounds. I think he'll give Canelo a very competitive fight, but I do agree with you that at some point you have to back up Canelo. And I don't think Bivol's going to even try that. I think Bivol's going to try to outbox the guy. And I think in the end, it's going to backfire on him. That's what I believe. Okay, Fury's feint game is the best in current boxing, in my opinion. Never seen someone so big feint so much. He's got a really good feint game for sure. I don't know if it's the best, but for a big guy, I get it. But I think Canelo's feint game is better than Fury's. But that's just me. Mini Mill, D-Style, great work with the Salvador Sanchez documentary. Saw it last week. Good stuff. I appreciate it, man. Blood put together a really, really good documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out on what's it called again? Something in oh my God, I forgot the name. But check out Blood Boxing. Man, can somebody put the name of his channel? I forgot the name of the channel. Something in documentaries. I forgot the name of the channel. I apologize. But everybody can check it out there. Put it in the chat. Tax, D-Style, how much more does Canelo must accomplish in order to surpass Chavez Sr., Oscar Finito Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez? Look, I'm going to keep it real with you guys right now. Look, Morales is probably my favorite fighter ever. I grew up watching Eric Morales, but he already surpassed Morales. Like, I'm just going to keep it real with you. I think he surpassed a lot of guys, to be honest. But here's the thing, though. I want to wait. Like, I just hit the Morales one, but he hasn't gotten to Chavez yet, in my opinion. But what I will say is, let's wait. Let's wait for the career to end. Let's let the honeymoon stage subside a little bit, and then we can judge where he stands all time. Not just in Mexican boxing, by the way, all time, right? But let's let it happen let's enjoy the moment, right? Because what happens when you start comparing, the old school heads get mad, the new fans get mad, oh, you're not giving it enough credit, the old school saying, oh, you're going too far, and then it becomes like him versus the legends, and that's really not what it's about, right? Let's wait for him to retire, and then we'll judge it. You know what I mean? I know a lot of Canelo fans are like, no, let's do it now, annoying them. Like, no, well, you could annoy them if you want. How about that? But D-Style Boxing is going to let the honeymoon stage end, and then we'll go from there. You know what I mean? Chicano Prophet, Canelo will take a shot to land a shot. Will punch a Bivol once he has the timing down. You know what Canelo does? He has a high guard, and he's going to feel those punches. And he can gauge a little bit like, okay, I could take that. All right. Next time he throws that one, I'm actually going to lower the punch, and I'm going to get ready. Boom, and counter him. You know what I mean? But it's going to gauge you first. Even guys that you don't think are big punchers, Canelo always feels their shot. So he has an idea what he's dealing with. I don't even think Bivol's going to throw his biggest shots early, because I think Bivol knows that. Bivol might, to put yourself in Bivol's shoes, he might be like, I'm going to throw this one about 70%, right? Okay, Canelo blocked it. Okay, he thinks that's how hard I hit, right? So he's going to wait a little bit, and he's going to anticipate what Canelo's going to do when he does lower that guard next time he throws it, right? And again, that comes with those subtle feints. It's a chess match in there. Right? Have you ever played chess? Trying to wonder, like, why is he giving me away this queen right now? Either he's stupid or he's going to about to put me on checkmate, right? So you got to kind of survey the board, because you don't want to be like, ha! I took your fucking queen. right? And then boom, checkmate. You know what I mean? So like you gotta like, that's why these guys are, doing shit in there. People are like, well, what are they doing? Why are they throwing punches? Just throw. Like, like you ever watch Fights for Casuals? That's what happens. They're gauging each other in there. They're probing. They're studying each other. They're trying to plant some little traps in there. And so it's a little more complicated than he just takes one and land one. He's got to gauge it first, right? And then if the opponent knows that's what he's doing, the opponent's going to try to kind of counter whatever Canelo's trying to do, and that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? But no doubt, Canelo will definitely, once he's confident, he could take a punch, right? He will trade with you. He will force you to trade, right? And it'll be interesting to see if Bivol will do that. Okay, it'll be very interesting. Kamikaze D-Style, did you hear what Nose Ellerby said? Come on. Canelo taking minimal risk while getting high paydays. What about Tank? Ellerby picked Plant to win. He said, oh, Plant's going to beat him. So it's crazy. And he did it like in a backhand compliment way too. You know what I mean? Haplotype Canelo can change trajectory with punches, mid-punch, and Bivol's more robotic. I don't know if I'll call Bivol robotic. In fairness, I'll respectfully disagree with that term, although I know what you mean, right? Canelo does change trajectory of his punches midway. Very few fighters. Crawford's another one that can do that. There's very few fighters that can do that, okay? Chocolatito can do that. There's very few that can do that. So you are right about that. Your point stands. I would just say that Bivol's punches are more like once the target's locked in and he decides to shoot, it's going to finish the process. You know what I mean? Where Canelo can change the trajectory of the punch depending where you go. So that's what I'll say, because I really don't think of Bivol as robotic. That's just my personal opinion. Shout out to you guys. Hit my like button, by the way. Puro Sur Central in the building. He says, Orale D-Style. Shout out to you, brother. Glad to have you here. And all that good stuff. After the mid rounds, Bivol's going to be wincing every time Canelo faints. If he's doing that by the middle rounds, a knockout is coming, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That's all I'm saying. If Canelo goes on his back foot, it will be by choice. We will see. I do think he's going to go on the back foot. Not necessarily like, oh, I'm doing it just because I want to. He's doing it because it's part of the game plan, right? I think he's going to go on his back foot to give Bivol some confidence, right? And if Bivol wins 2 to the rounds early in the first 5, he's going to have confidence. Why wouldn't you? Yo, I'm a boxing. I'm coming forward. Hey, mama, I'm backing Canelo up. You know what I mean? So, but I think what Canelo ultimately wants, he wants the center of the ring fight. And I talked about it in my breakdown early in the week. He wants the fight to be in the center of the ring. That's where he wants to fight, right? Where both of them are circling. Now, granted, Bivol's going to be doing more of the loopy, kind of getting out of the pocket, looping out of the way, and Canelo's just going to turn. You know what I mean? And in the course of a 12-round fight, when you're doing more movement like that, that's also energy. You're exerting more energy, where Canelo's going to conserve more energy in the process, right? So that's what I think is going to be what we're going to see in the fight. Early on, he'll be on the back foot, but then, and another thing to notice, whatever logo they have in the middle of the ring, one of Canelo's feet is always going to be on that logo, while Bivol's going to be the one doing most of the circle. It's going to look like they're both circling the ring, but in reality, Canelo's going to be a little more of the aggressor, right? But it's like a passive aggressiveness type of thing, if I want to use that word, right? Where he's kind of in the middle of the ring and Bivol's the one circling more, right? He's still going to be moving, but one of his feet will be in that logo. And that's what I saw a lot in the rematch with Gennady Golovkin, right? So I think that's what we're going to see. Mini Mill, how do counter feints? Who's a master at this? How are you saying? How do I counter, or who? How do we? What do you mean? how do you counter feints? I think there's two things you could do with feints, in my opinion, right? You could either complete not bite, and by that is maybe you are biting, but you're not taking the chance that it's not a feint, and you do what I believe Bivol will do. Bivol will just avoid the confrontation. He's just going to back up. You know what I mean? Like Canelo will feint, and Bivol will just kind of back up a little bit. You know what I mean? He'll create space between them. So, and what that'll do is, if it's not a feint, he actually shoots, then Canelo's going to miss, right? If it is a feint, then he just backed up, right? Another thing is if you can figure out when he's going to feint, it's a little risky, but you can just shoot the jab and catch him in the feint. You can shoot your punch, and since he's feinting, you're going to catch him, right? So that it's riskier, but there's a lot of that goes with that. Like you know what I mean? Because you're landing. So, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Retro boxing and documentaries is the name of. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I forgot. But you guys can check out the Salvador Sanchez documentary there for sure. What's going on to Cab Donna? How's it going, brother? Tax tag. Don't do that, these styles. Don't you dare put Canelo over any of them. Eric Morales is one of the look. I love Eric Morales, but really good fighter. You know what I mean? One of my favorites. And Canelo stole some of his moves, even, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But there's no rule that says you can't be inspired or use some of those moves, right? But at the end of the day, that's how I feel, you know. But there's other names though that here's the other thing, man. Like a lot of these eras are different. A lot of these eras there was only one champion. So this is how I see it. I don't want to compare Canelo with Chavez. Like I'll just see it as they're two kings that reigned in their time, and they had to reign, and that's it, right? Because they're not even fighting in similar weight classes. They're not even like a lot of times, man. It's like a different sport. Like when you're in different weight classes, you know what I mean? So Finito Lopez was way down there, as low as you can go, and it's a different sport than like Chavez, at junior welterweight, lightweight, and it's a different sport to Canelo fighting like from 154 and up, like now at light heavyweight. It's different, right? So that's me. So. Anyway, Mix, as much as I don't like Oscar now, Canelo will never surpass him, no matter how many titles he wins. Canelo wouldn't survive fighting the talent Oscar had to fight. That's interesting. You know what I mean? Like that's something. I don't know. Look, Oscar De La Hoya had a great career. Like I'm not, but Oscar. I mean, he won some big ones, but he kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know. Chicago Prophet says Canelo won't ever quit like Chavez did. I mean, look, Chavez is a legend. I respect Chavez, right? If you're a Mexican fight fan, show him respect. Come on, Chicano. You know what I mean? I get you're a big Canelo fan, but chill the fuck out. That's all I'm going to say. Shout out to Haplo. How's it going, brother?
Yo, what's up, bro? Wanted
What's going
to
on?
jump on and say what's up to everybody, and I'm excited for the big fight night tonight. But yeah, I like the combo, so I'll jump in, if I feel like
Sure.
there's something I have to say.
For sure. It's I mean, like, are we gonna like judge Chavez over some I guess the Katsusu fight, like he stayed in the stool, like when he was way past it, already had over 100 fights, like, you know what I mean? That's me, but and we just don't know what's gonna happen. Well, what if Canelo gets injured in the fight?
I didn't consider that like a bad quit. I mean, I think he was really just done. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, if you want to know, like, just ask Canelo about Chavez. He has all the respect in the world for Chavez. You know what I mean? So, and vice versa.
And vice versa. Remember when he fought Chavez Jr. and Senior like came up to him, was like almost like, I wish you were my son instead of this guy.
Mini Mill says Tista Weiss Barrera usually always ranked higher than Morales and Marquez. I think he's ranked over Morales because a lot of people feel he won 2 of the 3, and he officially won 2 of the 3. I think that's why. But I mean, it's debatable, like, but I also think most people rank Marquez above Barrera, to be honest, though.
Yeah, I put Marquez above both of them slightly, but Morales should have won that. He should have the 2-1 over Barrera, in my opinion. But he doesn't. But he also beat Pacquiao, and Barrera just got steamrolled by Pacquiao.
Yeah, for sure. Christian W says Morales Canelo surpassed Mayweather. If Canelo becomes undisputed 175 and manages to defeat Usyk, holy shit, you guys are crazy talking about Usyk. He'll be up there with Roy Jones and Ray Robinson. Damn, is he gonna fight Usyk? I don't think that fight's gonna happen. Like that's crazy right there. You know what I mean? I want to ask you. Somebody asked earlier, Haplo, how do you counter a feint? How to deal
you
with
gotta,
feints?
yeah, like if someone's fainting a lot, you just gotta interrupt it with the jab and vary up the jab, double it, triple it, go upstairs, downstairs with the jab, get them to stop feigning, and they're gonna have to start throwing because you're hitting them with the jab while they're fainting. It's almost like interrupting the feint. If someone's fainting, and you're popping them with the jab when they do it, then they're gonna have to start throwing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Bivol will use his jab a little bit, but I think he's going to be backing off. I think he's going to be more passive. I think he's going to just, instead of like throwing the jab, he's going to back up. I think that's what he's going to do, to be honest. But we'll see. Jesse says, not chess, we're going to war. Man. Happel said, Chicano Canelo will also never go 89-0. Oh, shit. Chavez was undisputed at lightweight. Somebody say he was. Somebody say he wasn't. All right. The true Mexican fans are diehards who remember they will never place Canelo over Chavez Sr. Man, shout out to HLD. How's it going? Chavez record should have an asterisk just like they do with Canelo. I'm not even sure what that's about. Like, I don't know what Chicano has something like he just wants Canelo to be #1 all time. Like, I think that's what it is, but that's cool. Stubborn old Mexicans can glorify Chavez all they want. Austria made him quit twice. He didn't quit. They stopped the fights. The ref stopped the fight because the blood was covering his face. The second fight, you could maybe argue. You could argue that he quit on the stool, but technically he didn't quit. They stopped the fight. The corner stopped it. You know what I mean? It's my opinion. I guess you two are going back and forth. He says, I like Chavez. I just feel like his aura is protected. We can never mention his gifts or that he quit without people getting mad. Instead, we just get 89-0. Like, I don't think that's true. I think people are very fair when it comes to Chavez, actually. Most people say he lost to Whitaker, right? Am I wrong?
Let's not get into that.
No, like people do said there's no aura. He really was that good. He was a great fighter. Like when people are like, oh, it's just aura with Ali. You can't say this, and yeah, you can. Of course you can. But you don't. It's like when Mayweather's like, I was better than Ali. I mean, Ali lost to Spinks. Like, okay, is that really your synopsis of Ali's career? You're basing it off of a completed career, by the way. And
dude.
The end,
it's
when
just some bullshit.
This is my opinion, but the fight will play out similar to Saunders and Plant, as they had some early success, but Canelo finishes Bivol off in the later rounds. I think if there's any aura issue, I think there's a Canelo aura right now. And that's what the aura we're dealing with, in my opinion. You're in a honeymoon stage because we're witnessing it as we speak. But let's be honest. I'll just be honest right now. There's no fighter in any of these weight classes for Canelo that's the same danger as a Maldrick Taylor was, or as good. I don't think Bivol's as good as Maldrick Taylor. I don't think he's anywhere near the.
Bivol's nothing like Maldrick Taylor.
Yeah, like
he's more.
Yeah,
he's more like Triple G than Maldrick Taylor. I mean, it's like Triple G a little bit taller without the power.
Right. Well said. Lennox was best. How's it going, brother? Last post by NYMX had to be a joke. What did NYMX say? I don't. I can't. I don't know. I don't want to like possibly. You know what I mean? De La Hoya never took challenges like Canelo is. I don't know if I'll agree with that though. De La Hoya took a lot of challenges.
De La Hoya fought everybody, bro.
I don't think there's anyone other like he ended
Ali
up not
and
fighting
De La
certain guys
Hoya.
because he ended up losing. But like he didn't fight Vernon Forrest, but that's because he lost to Mosley, and then Mosley fought Forrest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Forrest also lost to Mayorga, and that's why De La Hoya
Right.
fought Mayorga.
Good point. He didn't fight Winky Wright, in fairness, but I don't know that fight was there at times. You know what I mean? Like he fought Vargas, you know, and then he ended up moving up to fight. Like it's hard to criticize him for not fighting Winky Wright when he moved up to fight Hopkins. Hopkins is one of the best middleweights of all time. Like there isn't a guy like that right now. It just isn't. Like if somebody wants to name me a name that's that good as a, you know, a Mike Tyson. I'm sorry, Mike Tyson. Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins that destroyed Trinidad, by the way. I don't know. Come back and comment when you're done wearing diapers. Man, you guys are going at it and stuff, man. I think Barrera won all three. Says, Joe, come on. No, he didn't win all three. He didn't win the second fight. Morales clearly won that second fight. I'm just saying. I'll give you the first one and third one if you insist, but I'm not going to give you the second fight. Morales won that second fight. I hope he does fight Usyk. How epic would that be? Holy shit. Do you take that serious, bro? Do you think he's going to fight Usyk?
I mean, it seems far-fetched, but, you know, anything's possible, bro. I mean, both guys have said something about fighting the other guy. That would be epic, bro. But you know what would be even more epic? AJ versus Canelo. Like if AJ beats Usyk and then AJ versus Canelo, I think that's the biggest fight in boxing.
All right. Gorguga, going to be surreal seeing Barrera, Ricky Hatton in July. Yeah. They're going to have like a exhibition, I believe. I don't think it's an official fight. Those two dudes are so old, bro. Like, goddamn. And what makes calm down, bro? It's all opinions, he says. Barrera, Morales fights were great. How did you score those, Haplo, from what you remember? Like, who do you have winning?
Shit, bro. I have to rewatch. It's been so long. Like those fights I watched, you know, I thought Morales won two. I can't remember which two it was.
Yeah.
But they gave it to Barrera, and it was close. You know, I wasn't mad at the decision, but I thought I had it scored. One of them that went to Barrera was Morales, but I have to go back and watch them to tell you which one it was.
Yeah. Look, we can't. Chicano says he got carried away. Look, you can't subtract from others to add to yourself. You can't subtract from the legends to add to current fighters. You know what I mean? You could just talk about what Canelo's doing. Well, what is he doing right now? You know, and I think he's doing some great stuff. He's obviously the best pound for pound fighter right now in boxing. It's his era right now, and we're witnessing it. I just think we got to give it time, you know. Haplo wearing a hat made for kings only, says HLD. All right. He never went up such weight gains like Canelo did, says Lennox was best. I mean, 130, 135, 140, 147, 154, 160. I'm just saying, like, we can't bash that, you know? Just saying. Like, the knock for De La Hoya is always going to be he lost his biggest fights. That's the knock with De La Hoya, right? So that's how I feel about it. De La Hoya fought Trinidad at 26. Enough said. That was a hell of a challenge too, by the way. You know what I mean? De La Hoya got one of the best resumes in history in terms of people fought. Yeah, as far as fought for sure. Would Chavez or Oscar ever say, I won't ever fight a Mexican? Canelo said that when he was asked about David Benavidez. I think there's some misquoting going on there. I don't think he said that. I don't.
The quote?
That Canelo said he's not going to fight a Mexican. Like I don't. I think that was a misquote.
Yeah, that was probably it. Was
It's
that
like what
in English
Reynoso
or was
said
that
when,
translated?
yeah, when Reynoso said that the African American style is one of the most difficult in boxing, and then people were saying, "Oh, he said that he doesn't like his fighters to fight African American." That's not what he said. You know what I mean?
No,
That's
that was a
what.
compliment. That was a
Yeah, like
compliment.
people,
It's true too.
but there was people making
Like I,
videos.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
see,
call it
he
I wouldn't
admitted
call it
it.
the
Like,
African American style. By the way, I think that's lame to label it by race. Like I hate Mexican style, African American style because there's so much variation within the group. It's more differences within the group than there are outside the group. It's not a real thing. Like there's the slick style, slick boxing
for
style.
sure.
Plenty of non-African Americans have a slick boxing style. So to call it the African American style is,
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
it's wrong in my opinion, but I think he meant that as a compliment anyway.
See, Lennox was best says, I'm not knocking De La Hoya for not taking fights, but he lost to Hopkins and Trinidad and Mayweather. Look, he fought Mayweather when Mayweather was the number one pound for pound in the world, and he gave Mayweather a better fight than Canelo did. Like, we just got to keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, I give De La Hoya like 4 rounds against Mayweather. Like, and
Look, bro,
it was competitive.
I think of Canelo's game plan with Mayweather was all messed up, bro. If he had fought like Maidana, I think he could have won that fight.
Just too young and inexperienced. Lennox was back said, I guess I never see weight gains in the lighter weight class as bigger deal, say middleweight to heavy. I mean, look, obviously it'll be similar to I guess what Roy Jones did, right? Roy Jones started 154. I don't think he won a belt in 154. I think 160 and up, but it will be similar to that, I guess, But I hear you. How do you think the early rounds are going to go, Aplo?
I expect Canelo to come out and like what I've been noticing in these last few fights since he's been fighting these bigger guys is that he's very calm. He's used to the big stage. That's the problem with these guys. They're not used to the pressure of being in a fight this big, no matter what they fucking say. They get out there and they have a game plan, and he's so calm that what he does is in the first few rounds, he lets them show all their cards. He doesn't fight like full balls to the walls in the first few rounds because he wants to see what the other guy's planning on doing. And they always reveal their hand. And then he just starts breaking them down, starting around round 4, 5, 6. He'll start breaking them down. And that's why I think Bivol is going to be a little bit more difficult than some of them because he does have, the length and the good jab and a good straight rights and good jab game. Not too much special effects on him. But yeah, so that's how I see it. In the early rounds, I think he'll be going about half speed and letting Bivol kind of reveal his hand.
Shout out to Lennox was best. Jab the light, guys. Look, I just feel like I agree with everything you said. I really don't disagree with anything you said. I do think that's what Canelo does. Canelo is a cerebral fighter. He likes to kind of read what his opponents are doing, and he's. But you don't think that's maybe what he did against Mayweather? He was trying to kind of, and it was maybe in over his head. It was too young.
Yeah, but with Mayweather,
trying to solve a puzzle.
That's a bad game plan with
Right.
Mayweather because you're doing what he does best. With Mayweather, you got to just jump on him, bro, and don't let him get set because as soon as you let him get comfortable, then you're done.
Right. No, for sure. I posted the link. Let me post the link for Major Key here. Yeah, I feel like the one thing though, I think people are underestimating like some of the things that Bivol does. I think you know what I mean. I think the jab is good. So while Canelo's trying to solve the puzzle, right, Bivol's going to be doing some things in there. So it's going to kind of delay, what I call the inevitable. I think he'll figure them out at some point. But I think it's going to take Canelo a little longer than it did against like Plant or some of these other guys, personally. And then I think it's going to take him a little longer to break him down, just because like He's, you know, it's 175.
I made a comment in the chat that I don't think you saw it, but I actually think Bivol, in terms of style, is a harder fight for Canelo. It's going to take him longer to figure Bivol out than Beterbiev, because Beterbiev is just going to come forward. Beterbiev's more dangerous because he's got the power that Bivol doesn't have, but you know what he's going to do. He's going to try to walk you down, and everybody that does that to Canelo gets knocked out pretty damn quick. Look at James Kirkland and fucking Angulo. Like,
shout out to Tony Boswell, by the way.
To me, that style is easier for Canelo. It might be more dangerous because of the power, but Bivol with the jabbing, being long,
Sure.
If he tries to fight on the outside, you know, it might give Canelo, like, that's why I'm saying round 10 knockout or stoppage, not knockout.
What's going on, Major Key? How's it going, brother?
Yo, what's up, man? Can y'all hear me? Because I hear a little breaking up on my end over here.
I hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, man. So one thing I want to say, because y'all said that Canelo starts breaking his people up in the mid, like 4th, 5th rounds. I disagree.
Oh man, you there, Major?
He froze.
You froze as soon as you said I disagree. You froze.
See what happens, man? No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, what happened? People are gonna be like, "Yo, D-Style, he's censoring Major Key." Like, you know,
that's what I was just thinking.
like, I don't know what's going on. I think he's on his phone or something. He'll jump back on. Well, look, I don't want to say that he breaks down opponent. Like, he waits to start breaking him down. I think, look, if Canelo figures you out in round 1, he's going to start breaking you down. But I just think it's going to take him a couple rounds in this fight. What's going on, brother?
What I mean by that? Oh, sorry, Major Key, go ahead, bro.
What's going on?
Yeah, as soon as you said I disagree,
you guys hear me a little better now?
Yes.
Yeah. So here's what I disagree with, though. All right, hold on one second. What happened was I clicked the link twice, and so I opened up 2 StreamYards by mistake. So it should be connecting right now. Can you guys hear me good?
Loud and clear.
All right, perfect. So yeah, so what I disagree with was I think that Canelo actually breaks down his fighters starting from the beginning. When he comes in, the little jab and stuff like that, but he immediately, if you check, he always throws the left hook to the body early to.
There he goes again.
I don't know what happened.
He's gone again. No, look, when I was talking about him, like, figuring his guys out in the first few rounds, I'm not saying that he's not fighting. He's throwing punches, and yeah, he's landing stuff and trying to wear the guy out. But I think what he's looking for, and it just seemed very apparent to me, that what Canelo's doing in the first few rounds against these bigger guys is letting them reveal their game plan. Yes, he's going to throw the left hook to the body. Yes, he's going to land some punches and try to hurt the guy and see what he can do. But I think what he's looking for is, what are they trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think oh man, he's got some bad connection because it's training. Damn. But I think I get what he said. You know, I don't disagree with what Major Key said. I do think Canelo starts working the body early.
No, he's trying to win. Look, if he sees the vulnerability in round 1, he's going to go for it.
He's going to have to go to the body from jump in this fight. He's going to have to, like I was saying earlier, I give the analogy of when someone has a great gas tank, you got to create leaks on a gas tank, you know? So that way it's spilling from everywhere. And I think that's what Canelo's going to do here. People are not wrong when they say Bivol has a great gas tank. They're not wrong about that, but even a guy with a great gas tank.
Has he been pressed? Has he been pressed like that?
Like Joe Smith tried, right? Like, the effort to press him has been there, but his footwork was so superior, right? He was the guy with the speed advantage in those fights. Where in this one, I don't think Bivol has the hand speed advantage. I just don't. I think his feet are faster than Canelo's, but I don't think it's better footwork than Canelo at the same time, right?
You think his
So
feet are faster?
the feet are faster than Canelo's, yes. Not better, faster.
I gotta go look at that because
Now,
I
granted,
think
he
they're
does
about the
more.
same to me.
He does more like obvious movement. Canelo's is more subtle. Like, you know what I mean? But I think he's more efficient than Bivol with the footwork. To be honest with you, so that's just how I personally see it. But I think that's going to make the difference as the fight progresses. You don't think Bivol's got good footwork? You mean or?
No, I think his footwork is very solid, bro. I think it's very, fundamentals. The fundamentals are there, bro. But
Gotcha.
Canelo's like on a different level. He has the fundamentals and this other thing that he's gained through all the experience he has. Like we're talking about a guy with 19.
No, like here's the thing. Like Canelo does not have fast feet, bro. You know what I mean?
No, he doesn't have fast feet.
No,
He has
no,
good footwork.
but let me say this. But he makes up for it with efficiency. He makes up for it with the pivots and the subtle movements. Like he doesn't waste foot placement. You know what I mean? Whereas Bivol, I do think wastes a lot more. Foot placement. He does more aerobic, let's call it, movement around the ring than Canelo does. Canelo's footwork is good. It's just not fast. I do believe Bivol has faster feet than Canelo. Line them up in a 40. I think Bivol beats him.
Probably, but do I think that will really be the telling thing? Canelo has the better head movement. Bivol has a long rib cage. It's going to be hard for him to keep from getting hit from body shots. And if he starts the fight focused on blocking body shots, like you said earlier, he's going to be open for uppercuts and overhand rights.
For sure.
So, Canelo has his advantages. The length, keeping the fight on the outside, trying to keep Canelo off, and I just don't see him being able to do that for 12 rounds, but maybe he will. I don't know. Who knows?
For sure. Hey, brother, give us any final thoughts before I wrap this one up, man. I'm going to get ready to crack open some beers and get my fight party started, so.
Yeah, when does the official card begin? Is it already on?
I don't know, but I know the Zone YouTube channel is going to be showing the prelims. So FYI to everybody, you can start watching some prelim if you want, right? I'm not going to watch the prelims, but I'm sure the fight starts around 7 p.m. my time or so. So, but it's never too early to start. Shout out to Mr. Boxing Today, by the way. Shout out to him.
Hey, Mr. Boxing Today, dude, bro.
I mean, he'll probably agree with you that Fury has the best feints because he's a heavyweight guy.
Fury has who's fainting that much, bro, other than Fury? I guess Crawford.
Canelo, bro. Canelo has better feints than him.
Than Fury?
Yeah.
Bro, Fury faints so much, bro. It's like
Fury's feints wouldn't work at light heavyweight, bro. It just wouldn't.
Dude, he would never fight there though, because he's 6 foot. He's like 280 pounds, bro. Yeah, I mean,
first prelim fight's almost done since Lee Grove, so you guys, go to the Zone channel, check that out. Canelo will use head movement and pivots to notify Bivol's flurries, like what he did with Pascal. Well, there you go. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So,
all right. Well, no final thoughts. Just thanks for on and salute to everyone in the chat and Major Key. Sorry that your connection's not good, but hey, everyone have a great night. Be safe and enjoy the fight.
For sure. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. This is D-Style Boxing. Keep it boxing. If you want to check out the prelims, you're on the Zone channel. So peace out.